Good morning, good day, whatever time it is for you as you are seeing this. Perhaps a recording, perhaps live right now, where it is 9 a.m. Pacific time on the West Coast. I'm in San Diego, California. A pale blue sky with a little fluffy cloud. Birds are chirping. And this is Hug Nation's Love Morning. It is a chance to get together and share some gratitude, to remember that we're not alone in the world, that we're surrounded by like-minded, open-hearted people. So easy to scroll and be like, this world sucks, people suck. And it's not a bad idea to remind yourself that some of this world does suck, and some of these people do suck. But I think there's plenty of reminders. I think we have ample opportunity to get the message that we should be freaked out. So I'll trust that there are other avenues for you to get that information and that awareness. And this space that we share for this 10 to 30 minutes is where we go, yes, and we have so much to be grateful for. So I welcome you to share something that you're grateful for, something that you are either celebrating, looking forward to, something exceptional, or something mundane that you maybe sometimes take for granted and you just want to be grateful for it in this moment. So welcome. Good morning. I'm John Halcyon, and I am the host of the Hug Nation YouTube channel, as well as the author of Love More, Fear Less, Float More, Steer Less, and the first half of my life biography, Protagonist. I generally start this with a song that I improv to try to get my blood flowing. So let's start singing it right now and see what happens to this air. And if you could see below this desk, you'd see I'm wearing underwear. And if you've got some gratitude, we'd like to hear it now. Everybody go get your bull or your cow, 'cause we've got gratitude. Whether we eat the cow or milk it, we've got gratitude. Whether we worship it like something else. Sometimes it doesn't rhyme, and you gotta forgive me for that, because with all of this hair, I can barely wear a hat. Good morning. Welcome to Love Morning. Good morning, Annalise. Good morning, Gerbot. Good morning, Zoe. And hello, George. Good morning. George is glad for my song. What a beautiful way to start off gratitude. Thank you. It feels good to be appreciated, and it feels good to share it. If that's one thing that I really have been practicing for years now, and I really try to turn it up the knot as much as possible. Have a gratitude thought, share a gratitude thought, especially if it's about someone. I've got a couple examples of that from yesterday. Yesterday was filled with these peak love ambassador moments, so I'll share shortly. George shares, I bought a new avocado mattress and I'm grateful because it has helped my back pain. Well, I hope that the avocado mattress does not mimic the actual avocado, which only has like about a 1 hour perfect firmness, and then it's too soft. I'm sure it's wonderful, and I'm so glad that it's helping your back pain. Thank you for sharing, George. Share some gratitude, leave a comment. We'd love to just see your presence. Even if you just leave like a emoji, we know that you're here and we can feel your presence as we share this. The whole concept of Hug Nation is that it doesn't matter where your feet are, it matters where your heart is. And using digital tools, we can really get the sense and the feeling of sharing space, creating a container, a safe container where we can celebrate the good and we can confess the struggle. And maybe if we're practicing enough, we can say, I have been really struggling with the news, with the state of current affairs. And I'm so grateful for the in-person connections I've had over the last 4 days to remind me that life and the world is not what I am being given in my stream. That is an example that has been algorithmically tweaked to freak me out as much as possible. So I'm so grateful that even with that struggle, I can find gratitude in it. See? I'm not putting my head in the sand, not denying that there is suffering in the world. I'm saying I'm grateful that I have ways and places to anchor into beauty and miraculousness and creativity and connection so that I have the strength and the appreciation of this world and this life to then be of service to the world without being overwhelmed. Annalise says, I am grateful for you as always. Thank you. I also want to highlight how we have so much art and culture in my town, Houston, Texas. Thank you for sharing that, because when I think Houston, I don't think art and culture. That's my bad. I've never been there. So thanks for helping expand my awareness. I was sharing in an integration circle at a meditation retreat that when I invited them to come to Love Morning, this is part of my integration of insight, and invited them to gratitude circles at noon, which you are also welcome. Those are in Zoom. Both are free. I do things that aren't free. Like I have a men's group that's in 2 weeks, March 15th, 13th. But I think it's sold out. But anyways, I also do one-on-one coaching if you would like to connect with me and build your gratitude practice and have kind of an ally in getting to a place where you are living your day in alignment with your truth, so that no matter what happens that day, you go, yes, I was the person I wanted to be today. Annalise says, Beyonce is from here. See, I hope that you are getting some kickbacks, or at least the Tourism Bureau is giving you some kudos for being such a good ambassador to Houston. Guten Morgen, Pierre! Yay! 2 days in a row I get to connect and share gratitude with Pierre. Oh, I know what I was telling. When I was telling this group of the circle, I was saying that there's so much research on the benefit of a gratitude practice. Science keeps telling us in all these different ways that it is helpful for your health, it is helpful for your general baseline happiness. Like significantly has changed with a daily gratitude practice. But what there's not research on yet is the power of group gratitude sharing. Because we can only think within the boundaries of our minds. So if I have not been thinking about my bidet and how glorious it is since my life has changed since installing a bidet, I take it for granted and I stop thinking about it. But if someone shares in as a comment, they go, oh my God, I'm so grateful for my bidet. My rectum is so happy. Then I go, that's right. I too have that joy in my life that I have been taking for granted. It has been below the threshold of my awareness. So thank you for sharing. Or you could appreciate something that I have nothing about. I'm like, oh, I'm so grateful for this brand of tampons I use. It's biodegradable and there's no discomfort. I'm so happy for that. Now, I have no experience with that. It's not going to be on my list of personal gratitudes. But knowing that there are things out there being appreciated by others does lift me. So that's why we do this. Because the world is better than your mind wants to tell you. Because evolution weeded out the people that were happy. Happy people who are saying, things are great. They're not like, we better hide here. Oh, what if I think something going over there? There's something big and scary over there. There's something over there. The people who are like, I think there's something over there. There's something. Those people survived when the big saber-toothed animal came. But we don't have saber-toothed animals. So we have to work with the limitations of our brain to take the things below threshold of taking for granted into awareness and appreciation. And it's such an easier and better and more fun practice as a group. So thank you for being on Team Love Ambassador, Team Gratitude. Good morning, Kiri. Kiri says, I'm grateful I am deeply loved, and for this gorgeous 5-mile walk I'm on instead of going to work. I called in sick to take care of myself today. So you are walking currently? I love that. Thank you. I love you, Kiri. Thank you for your assistance and your care and your love and your community stewardship. Good morning, Trish. Trish says, I'm thankful for all of you. Thanks, Trish. Kiri says, I'm grateful I found life-changing menstruation products that I make and that make it so I will never have to buy and use a tampon ever again. Good point. I should have mentioned the cup. I don't know why tampon came. I don't use either, but I'm pro cup. If I'm allowed to be take any sides in the menses product wars. Kiri says, I'm saving hundreds of dollars a year and removing toxic materials from my body. Beautiful, Kiri. Gerbot says, good morning, Gerbot. Says, grateful for Tailscale, an amazing, free, easy to use, personal mesh private virtual network. Ooh, I want to talk to you about that because there have been a few times recently when I'm like, I think I could benefit from a VPN in this scenario. And I think that's what virtual private network means. Unless it means very personal nudes, in which case I have plenty. Good morning, Tara. Good morning, good morning. Kiri's in pro disc for menstrual products, and you can have mess-free sex with it. All right? By tomorrow morning, I am going to be using a disc. Pierre's also pro disc. Okay, I'm going to change the title of this show. We are the Love Ambassador Morning Meetup on Hug Nation, and what's a good catchy name for Moontime Adventure Hour? Anybody else want to share something that they are feeling grateful for? If not, I'm going to jump into a few things that happened to me yesterday. Okay, so I was walking into Marshall's. Actually, I was, and I passed a woman that I'm like, she looks so familiar. I'm like, and I said, did you used to teach at City College? And she's like, yes. She was my graphic arts professor. If you've read my book, Protagonist, I talk about how I went to I graduated in psychology. I wanted to be a therapist, before I went to grad school, got a great job, but it hurt my heart so much at a group home for emotionally disturbed boys. Decided I don't want to go into psychology. The only thing I loved doing was making my paper zine. So I went back to junior college to learn design, to make my zine better. Candace was my professor. And she was great. Like, I was like, oh my God, I grew up with such judgment about junior college. But she was amazing. And the class was filled with super motivated people. And I went from a career path towards being a marriage and family counseling or something like that into creativity. And this was before the web. But I got to learn how to use Photoshop and Illustrator and page layout. And it was so rad to be like, she goes, I think I remember your name. I'm like, you changed my life. Like, I am a professional creative person. Like, and I started telling her things that I do, and I gave her my card, because my card is, it says surreal estate agent. And it's kind of an example of me being a designer and playing with it. And it was just, like, she's on my list of people that have played a role. Her ripples of her talents and skills and passions touched me and are still a part of me. And it was so awesome to thank her and hug her and let her know that one of her students is crushing this life and really utilizing creativity. So that was awesome. Big, magnificent love ambassador moment. And it was one of the things where like, I'm so glad I said something. I was, 30 feet away before I heard like, could it be? And keep in mind, that was in 1995. Whoa, is that right? Is that 30 years? 30 years. She looks great now that I think about it. Wow. Bravo, Candace. Hello, Seek and Hide. Thank you. Call me the most handsome eldritch god this side of the coast. I'm gonna have to look up eldritch god, but it sounds good. I really do feel like this look is starting to be a little biblical, and I'm here for it. Gerbot said, I was preaching about tail scale to someone else yesterday, and someone else who overheard me also piped up to say they thought it was the bee's knees too. All right. Well, I hope that. Well, it's free though. I was going to say, I hope you get commissions. Well, if it's free, I'm going to double your commission. Whatever, I'm going to double commission for you. Okay, so another great thing that happened yesterday. An old Pink Heart campmate, someone who, I met him when he was a younger man and reckless, and he reached out and said, hey, if you have time, I'd love to share about what's going on in my life, and I'd love to hear from your voice the things I'm reading about your life. And so it's like I was doing some yard work. I'm like, yeah, I called him up and he told me how he had got super clarity inspired by the things that he learned from me at Burning Man, and then the things that he went on to do another fault. Okay, maybe not. Okay, my computer gave me errors. And so he, after the way his gifting experience in the world, decided that he was going to like really figure out what he want, like how could he be of service, decided he wanted to dedicate his life to learning and teaching a healing modality that had cured him of his pain. And so he moved across the country away from the distractions of his West Coast life to be a student and work for a clinic that's doing what he's doing and he wants to be doing. And he was on a sober path. And it was so beautiful to hear him in this place of, these are my words, but I reflected back to him. I'm like you're doing what we talk about here. You are waking up and you're spending your day in the direction according to the things that are important to you, the values that you have. And so then no matter what happens at the end of the day, you're like, I feel good. I feel good about how I'm spending my energy in my life. And it was good to pump him up and share with him some of the things that have been helpful for me when temptations might arrive or something like that. So another awesome connection of shared gratitude. He shared with me gratitude. I got to, share with him. So we're doing it. Man, Pierre and Gerbot. I say that. I see. Pierre uses tail scale, not the disc. And then I'm like, your company is sponsored by a menstruation product? Great. Wow, what an interesting world we live in. I get it. Good morning, Angela. Angela says, wow, dropping the deep gratitude thoughts this morning. You are glowing, and I'll have what you're having. Grateful I have room in my cup for your positivity to get in there. Thank you. And glad that you're here. Speaking of swag, I have a t-shirt store. Did you know that? If you go to lifestudent.com, there's a link to my t-shirt store that has It's a Beautiful Glass shirts or Love More, Fear Less, Float More, Steer Less shirts and some other things. And if there's something else that you'd like to see, you can let me know. I sometimes make shirts and then take them off the site and change them. But yeah, go check it out. Go to lifestudent.com and see all my stuff, and then check out the t-shirt store. There are no disc shirts or tailspin shirts in the store yet. I had a couple other things that happened great yesterday. Another one was a woman that I dated before I went, maybe even while I was in junior college. Could have been while I was in junior. So, but at the same time, commented on a post and said we should touch base. And I knew that she was a yoga instructor now, and so we had a call, and I got to hear how she started a yoga studio in Florida and goes to India once a year and is super dedicated to a traditional yogic practice and leads retreats all over the world. And it was like, and she ended the call with this really beautiful, heartfelt appreciation for me and the role I've played in inspiring her over the last 30 years. And you never get tired of hearing that, because there's so many inner and exterior voices that are trying to convince you that you're not doing it right. And then to hear someone really appreciate you, man, that feels good. Carolyn's calling me fat. Oh, no. Carolyn says, Happy Fat Tuesday, the day of decadent sinning. Woo! Speaking of decadent sinning, I mentioned that we had a cocktail or a mocktail hour at our place and invited the immediate neighbors. And then a couple nights ago, the neighbors brought by a box of homemade truffle chocolates. And to my credit, they're not even half gone. There are 2 layers to the box, but I'd say it's a quarter gone. That's pretty good for me, really good for me. So I've got some decadent sinning ahead of me, and so much appreciation for neighbors that bring by treats. How cool is that? So grateful for my neighbors in this house, in this neighborhood. Tara says, I am grateful for my connection to my nephew. I had a fun 2-hour FaceTime hanging out with him over the weekend, just being present with him, inspired by your hangouts with Asher. Yay! I don't know if you heard me yesterday, but he played the harmonica. And I mean, he doesn't, you can just wail on a harmonica, you know, so he's just playing and kicking his legs like crazy. And then afterwards he kind of paused and said, that song had no purpose. I was like, you're the greatest. Amen. That's the best song, best reason to have a song that I've ever heard. Cool. 2 hours is very impressive. I luckily when Asher called me on Sunday, yeah, he called me on Sunday. And actually, I was in the middle. I was doing a one-on-one coaching session in person, and the phone rang, and I was like, "Could we take a 10-15 minute break?" And he's like, "Sure." And so then he and I both were there, and I kind of felt like one of the things that I work with and help with is men's work, and to witness the way that I'm trying to embody that in this very odd encounter was, beneficial as well. And plus, Asher was in a great mood because he called. And if I call him and he's like in the middle of something or like in the middle of a Minecraft, it's like all he can think about is, I want to get back to my game. So it was really fun. Does anybody else want to share any gratitude? Anything that they're appreciating? Something fantastic or something mundane? Oh, I've got another thing that I'm grateful for. So I got into a brief conversation about Tom Robbins with a friend over the weekend, and they messaged me this morning because they're now listening to Fierce Invalids Home from Hot Climates, which is maybe my favorite book, my favorite Tom Robbins book. And I've listened to it 3 times, and I continue to go back to it. Like, as soon as I start to not like a book I'm reading, I just go back and listen to parts of that again because it's just I love it. I feel like I'm the target demographic for that book. Person goes to the Amazon and does ayahuasca and then has this vision. And then, anyway, I've never been to the Amazon, however, so it's not about me. And so we had voice messages back and forth about our appreciation of this book, and then I had this like super happy feeling, because what I was working on as I was going back and forth with these messages with her was looking at clips of Janus that I'm going to be talking about in a few minutes when Betsy and I are recording a tribute episode to our co-host and friend. And so people have been recording stories that we're going to edit together, and clips of him and edit it in. So that's what I'm working on. And so here I am having a conversation with a friend about someone who just died, Tom Robbins, and how the impact of their life, their art, continues to ripple on through us and connect us and delight us. And I'm like, yes, this is exactly what I'm in the middle of, is trying to create and amplify the ripples that Janus has put into the world, as we all do. So it was this beautiful reminder of the eternal nature of our ripples. Maybe not eternal, because that implies that humanity will exist eternally. And I don't know if you've ever gone down this rabbit hole, but forever is way too long. Eternity is way too long. So let's just say, for an extended ripples that continue on. John is here. Good morning, John. John says, I'm grateful for a sacred relationship in my life that is always reflecting back where I am in this crazy illusion. What a gift. Thank you for sharing. And I know what you mean. I think I give gratitude to Lisa every day here, and every day to her. We end every day with, I appreciate about you. And my goodness, the number of times during the day that I am telling her or telling other people about the impact, the positive impact of her in my life and our partnership and my growth. So beautiful to hear of your beautiful divine connection relationship. Good morning, Peter. Peter says, go Ripples. And that was the best laugh I've had this morning about you explaining how ripples will go on. Excellent. Oh, I'm also grateful for this calla lily. I bought a potted calla lily for Lisa for her birthday last year, I believe. And it did not have any blooms on it, but I knew it was her favorite flower. And so it's been growing. It's quite large now. It's in a huge pot. So we brought it to the new place, and it just bloomed. And so I actually just bought this vase, a huge vase, just for this. Look at this flower. Look at that. Look at the angle curve, the delicate, oh God, and the shade of the green to white there. Look at that. I know what that reminds me of. It's like a shafty thing. I can't think of it right now. Oh, last chance for gratitudes. Well, I'm grateful for this practice and for you and for our the ways that we have all day long to adjust towards being a love ambassador, being a little bit more kind, a little bit more connecting. When I saw the person that could have been Candace, reaching out and saying, "Did you used to work?" Now, if she said no, it still would have been a check mark, a extra credit as being a love ambassador. It's making efforts, saying good morning, giving a special thank you to the person who's bagging your groceries. Maybe, what was that? Oh, I got blood drawn yesterday. And so the guy asked me a question, so I answered in a way that I thought was interesting. And to try to, I mean, look, he's there doing his job. Why not be friendly? Why not be a love ambassador? Why not share something that happened in my day that was awesome so that he gets to hear a little bit of like this experience of a little shared gratitude? So thanks for the encouragement and inspiration that I think we all get to be in a place to be for each other. You're my favorite green thumb. Yes, I am in charge of the plants. Yes, the one is the Lisa takes care of the orchids, and I take care of the rest of the plants, and we both take care of some of the outdoor plants, like the in the ground outdoor plants. What kind of animals? Oh, there's a bird down there. Tara is grateful for my husband's skills. My kitchen is almost done. That's awesome. Thank you, Peter. And with that, wherever you are, let's give ourselves a big old squeeze of gratitude for the people that have inspired us, for the ripples that have touched us, for the ripples that we put into the world with little echoes of their ripples in all the ripples that we put in the world, creating this just continuous weaving of energies and compassion and love. That we're just a small part of it. We're just a delivery mechanism of an energy. So let's feel connected to that energy as we take a deep breath in and squeeze. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and all of us here, thanks for being a part of this beautiful Hug Nation Love Morning. I love you. Enjoy your day. Happy Fat Tuesday. Let me know what you sinned or how you sinned. I don't know, not sinned. How you indulged. I'll see you tomorrow.